Hello, welcome to another video. Today I want to say hello to the 5 subscribers that see me all the time, or 4. Today I want to show you how I built this coffee bar with a space for a small fridge. I'll be building this out of walnut plywood and solid walnut. And I'm gonna start by making the carcass, the space that's gonna surround the fridge. You probably don't know this, but I don't like giving out measurements. Mainly because every piece of furniture I build is custom. It's built to fit a specific fridge and to be put in a specific space. So in reality, come up with your own measurements, and if you want to build what I built, just follow along, but with your measurements. What I can tell you is that these pieces that I'm cutting here are 2.5 inches wide, and these are gonna be the supports that go on the top and the back. To install them, I'll be using glue and pocket holes. And you've probably seen how pocket holes are made, so there's no need to show you that. I will, however, use this clamp because when you're using pocket holes, typically the screws want to push out the plywood before it goes fully in, as you can see here a little bit. And notice these pocket holes are facing up and back because on the top there's gonna be a piece of quartz, and on the back, well, you won't see that. And these are mainly just serving as support. And with this carcass complete, now I'm gonna start building the shelves that are gonna be next to the fridge. Not sure if this is the way to do it, but I'm gonna start by building the face frame, and to that I'm gonna add the shelves after the face frame has been built. Once I have my measurements, I'll cut my pieces to the same width and do sort of a dry fit. Once I have the dry fit assembled, then I'll mark it and use clamps to hold it in place and mark for the dominoes, just like this. I decided to leave this small space underneath the bottom shelf so that trash can accumulate there, because otherwise it wouldn't be a proper piece of furniture. Anyway, once I have it dry fitted like this, I mark for the dominoes and continue to cut all the dominoes. I was gonna do some kind of mortise and tenon, but it's too much for a small piece of furniture, so domino will be just fine. And with the glue and the dominoes, it's gonna be very strong. Before adding glue, I want to assemble the whole thing without glue to make sure everything's in the place that I need it to be, and then I will continue to add the glue to it. And yes, I'm happy to report everything is good. Once that is set, I will do the face frame for the main carcass and also mark for the other pieces of wood at the front and the back so I can cut the dominoes for those as well. And after I mark for the dominoes, I will also measure for the shelf that is gonna be tight in there. I'm gonna cut it so perfect that I won't need any screws or any dominoes. Just the pressure itself is gonna be just fine because it's gonna be a perfect fit. And once the dry fit is complete, now it's time for the glue up. When gluing up, I always keep a wet towel on hand because when you have a lot of squeeze out and you don't clean it up right away, yeah, it's gonna be harder to remove later, but it will also stain the wood itself, and later if you want to seal it or apply some kind of a stain, the wood won't accept it. Once the glue has been applied to all the parts, I'll put it on clamps for the glue to dry before we continue on to the next step. And once off the clamps, I will do a little bit of sanding inside, only because the next step is installing the shelves, and it's gonna be harder to sand these areas once the shelves are installed. Like I had said before, the fit on these shelves is a very tight fit, so there is no need for any screws or dominoes. Glue and clamps will be enough. And once I remove the clamps, I'm gonna continue to install the pieces that go at the back so that you are not able to see the plywood. And these, same thing, just a domino and a little bit of glue, some clamps, and that'll be enough. And once this glue is dried, it's time to put these two pieces together, making sure we don't put too much glue so there's not a ton of squeeze out. Again, just with clamps and glue, that will be enough for these. And because the shelves have their own face frame already, I'm just gonna install the face frame for the front of the fridge. This one also has one domino to adjoin the other hardwood, and for the rest of the cabinet is just gonna be clamping pressure. I was gonna leave this side just as is because this is gonna be to the side of the wall, but I changed my mind and decided to add a little bit of hardwood, only because if the owner of this furniture ever wants to put it in a different place where you are able to see that area, I don't want it to look ugly. And to continue on this side, I'm gonna put some X design to make it look a little more homey, and they're gonna be made out of hardwood as well. To join them, I'm just gonna do half laps. I cut them extra long so that once the X is glued up, I can put it on the piece of furniture and mark exactly where I want to cut. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, just wait a second. You'll see right now. One clamp will be enough for clamping pressure, and once the glue is dry, I will put them in place, and from the inside of the cabinet, I'm gonna mark exactly where I need to cut, such as this. I'm not sure if there's a better way. Again, every piece of furniture that I'm doing is my first time, so I do it in a way that I think is best, and it works. But if you know of a way, of the correct way that it should be done, let me know. And once I cut the excess with my miter saw, I will only be using glue because I marked very well on all sides and the cut was perfect. Only the pressure itself is gonna hold it in place once the glue dries. Once I did that to the bottom, I did the same thing to the top, and same thing, just glue and pressure. And this thing is pretty much done, baby. All I need to do is clean it before I apply the finish. For the finish, I'll be using Ruby Monocoat Pure just to accentuate all the wood grain and the color itself. And it's very easy to use. I like it because you apply it, wipe out all the excess, and it's that easy. I had a friend of mine cut the cords that I'm gonna be putting on top, and I'm just gonna use silicone to install. And looks like we have come to the end of this short project. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And now, if you would, please hit the like button just to let me know that I'm doing something right. But if you haven't subscribed, please do. It really helps me a lot, and I would really appreciate it. Anyway, guys, until next time, we'll see you. Bye.